welcome back to RLDesign.Innovations. Hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. It's holiday seasons are here. I have my hat on. We're jolly in the workshop, and we have a bunch of projects to do today. We have a couple of ornaments to make for a friend's tree that he needs a couple additional. We're going to kick up a belt. I'm going to call it the Holiday Diet Belt, and you'll see what I mean when I'm done. We're also going to take some barbecue utensils from a kit that I have that I'm giving away for a gift to someone. They barbecue all year round, so we're going to add some engravings to this to make it something special and add some humor to it. So sit back, let's get going. I'm going to go over to the station. We're going to use the Xtool S1 laser, use LightBurn, and let's get going. Okay, I brought up LightBurn. Let me update my overlay. We're all set there. Let me open up the project that I was working on last time. Okay, and this was from the video where I integrated having an Excel spreadsheet that would automatically feed the names into a job. So you can do, you know, say you have to do 30 of these in a production run. So I'm just using that template from there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this available in my Etsy store for free, this template of these ornaments that I designed. I have to make an Amanda one and a Jason over here. Let me just update the overlay. I'm going to use some wood that I have laying around. We move this around so we don't lose space. We'll do one right here. And then we'll do this one. Oops. We'll do this one over here as well. Right about here. I'll zoom in so you can see. Now, if you notice, I have multiple layers. So this first one, that's the names. I have to do 2 of those. The next one is the border. The next one is the Merry Christmas. This one, let's see if you can see it, is a little Santa Claus. I'm not going to do these this time. What I'm going to do is, after we cut the first side out, I'm going to flip these, and I'm just going to do the same thing over again. Let me see. You have the cuts. And let's see. I must have hit a macro. Okay. There we go. That's that. And again, I'm not going to have Santa Claus come out. So we're going to do it like this. You see a tree, Christmas, and what I'll do again, I'll put this in the Etsy store. We'll go from there. The only thing I have to do right now is just focus the laser. Just moving this over. And let's focus this. Yeah, this board was from the video that I did in Intarsia. So this was the base behind it, and then I did the multiple pieces of cutting out the different leaves and in different pieces of material. But what was interesting in that video is I took an image I found on the internet, I captured it and traced it, and then broke each piece into its own little node, and then engraved those so there were separate little pieces. And that's what Intarsia is. It's cutting out, usually with a scroll saw, cutting out the woods and putting together, and then sanding and ensuring that the woods you use are the coloring of that piece. But check out the Intarsia video. Okay, so we're all set here. I got the vent on, I got everything set. So then let's get moving. Let me just make sure we're all set. Boom, boom, boom. 110. Okay, I think that will be good for this one. Okay, let's start this. And then what I'll do is, once it's done, I'll just, we'll come back, because this is going to take a little bit. Let it get going. And what's nice, I design these, the name, you can just change out to whatever you'd like it to be. And then I'll show you what we do is we flip it over, I disable the cut line, and just engrave the back. So hang on, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right. Okay, so we're back. Next thing I'm going to do first, because I have to flip them over, is I need to use this real expensive tool. It's a little jeweler's screwdriver. I'll probably pick it up for 50 cents, and I'll show you why. I go in here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I pick each thing out. I hold the board. and I just flip them over. Very simple. There we go. Come on. There we go. Now do this one. Get this out of the way. Flip that over. And just place it back in there. So as you can see, we flipped them over. Let me update the overlay so you can see. Okay, so now that they're cut out, but the first thing we want to do now is we want to disable the cuts. So I just disable my black, which I use for cuts. Everything else will just be engraved again. We're going to do this again, and now I'll do the other side. And what I will do is I will place this on my Etsy store for free, so you can download the template. You can change the names, you can change the year in this, so if you want to do it next year, whichever. And typically on this 12 by 12 board, I can get probably, if I recall, 18 to 20 of these printed out with good spacing of probably 24 of them on one sheet. I had to do for a family. There was like 14 of them with their dogs, and I just went through and did these and cut these out. And the way I finish this is once it's cut, I then put a coating of polyurethane, a flat polyurethane both sides, and then we take one of the little lanyards or the little, the pretty silver ones that have a little glitter on them, tie it to it, and then we, then give it to the people and they put it on their tree. So after this, we will then start the other projects to just hang on. Okay, the other side is done. Let me remove this. Move these out of the way. Update the overlay, and you can see it's done. So what we do next is we get these out. Okay, so here's the product. Hope you could see them. Here's this one. So what we do next is we put a coating of polyurethane, flat polyurethane on that. Okay, so I just have a piece of plastic on this little stool. Put it right there so you can see. And I put a coating on each side. I'll do this side first. Just do a light coating. It takes about 15 minutes to dry. 1, 2. That's all it is. It'll dry. We'll flip it over. We'll do the other side. And then all we have to do is add the little lanyard or whatever you want to tie this to. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next project. Okay, we're going to move on to the barbecue utensils. I have a knife. I have a fork, a spatula, and then just a wooden spoon. So I'm going to let's do the spatula first. I'm going to put this in here. Let me swap this out. All right, let me update the overlay. Let me brighten it up a little bit. That's good. Okay, so let me load in the project I have. Okay, so I have a whole bunch of different sayings that I just wrote out. So I think I'm going to do flippin' burger crazy. So let's go over here, go to collects, and what I did is to try to make it easy is I made each saying a different color. So let's see this. I'm going to let's see, which one should we do? This is the flip. Let's see, either Flippin' Burger Crazy or Brian Crazy Flippin' Dad. Let's do Brian Crazy Flippin' Dad, because that one is going to be a fun one to do. So the first thing we're going to do is just hide all these other ones for now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave them there so we can look at them. We will just not output them. I think that's the best way to go. Okay. And if you ever want to double check yourself on what's going to be outputted, you just hit Alt-P and you'll see right there. Okay. So first thing we got to do is update the overlay, and we're going to do this one, Crazy Flippin' Dad. It's really too big for this one. Let's see. You may have to put it on 2 lines. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. So we're going to do Brian over here. Boom. And go something like Crazy Flippin' Dad. Or How about we try this? Let's see what this looks like. Go here. And do something like this. Put that in the middle. Let's see. Let's see how that looks. Is it too much? Yeah, too much. So I'm going to have to... Let's just do Crazy Flippin' Dad. How about that? Do this right here. I think that'll be better. Okay, Crazy Flippin' Dad. Move this right over approximately there. That's black. We have to change the power and the speed. So I'm going to do this at... This is a really hard wood, so I'm going to do 200, and I'm going to do it at 60% power for this guy. Okay. Now, first thing we got to do is we have to focus. Okay, it's focused. Once it's done with that, I will then just move it out of the way so we can remove the text to where we want it engraved. Let me move this back. Okay, update the overlay. Like I said, you see I had to move it because of the bar goes across the Xtool S1. So I'm going to put it right here. Let's move this out of the way. Right about like that. Let me change this because I did move the spatula. Whoopsie. I did move the spatula a little bit, so I threw it out of alignment. I think that looks good like that. Crazy Flippin' Dad again. Let's look at the cuts. And this is black. Everything else again is off. Let that one show. And again, just to confirm, Alt-P, Crazy Flippin' Dad. And I have about 1,600 fonts installed on here. At the end, I will show you a tool that you can download for free where you can print out. I don't have it handy here. I printed out all the fonts into like a directory so I can look through it, flip through it, and it'll show me what I have. Actually, you know what? Let me show you real quick. Put this down real quick. It's called AMP Font Viewer. You load right here. It does one at a time, or you do this. View all, and there you go. And you can actually print this. And this is really nice because, like I said, I have about 1,600 fonts. I have thousands of them over the years. And then you print this out as a book, so that allows you to flip through it, or if you're at a booth somewhere and you're doing custom engraving, you say pick a font. Now, obviously, you're not going to have all of these, if you're at a fair or, a show somewhere, because it'll take too long. People will take forever. So maybe you put 100 in here. Whichever. Great utility. Just look for it. Again, it's called AMP Font Viewer. Okay, let's go back to LightBurn. Now, let's do the Crazy Flippin' Dad. Let's get that going, because I am crazy. So let's get going. So we're going to start this. Yes, focus. We're good to go. We'll come back in 2 minutes, let this do its thing, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we are back, and I made a terrible, terrible mistake. Thankfully, this was for me, is I had a different piece of material on there, and I forgot to load my correct offset for this material. So it is definitely off, as you can see. But it came out pretty good. It's good enough for me. Because really, I have to compensate for the height of this. I mean, it came out pretty good. I have to compensate for the height of this. So when I do the others, because I didn't do a material test on this, and you think about it, it's thick like this, and when using the camera system, if you don't do a material test for this height, it's going to be off. So I forgot to do that. Again, it looks good. The engraving is good. I just have to now, what I will do is when I go to do it, I'll just frame it to make sure I don't have to move it over, because I'm not going to do material tests. I never do things this thick. So let's do the next one. That one hopefully will come out a little better. Let me switch the materials and we'll come right back. And I think this time I'm going to do the knife, and we'll figure out which one we're going to do, and we'll go from. Okay. So it just finished focusing. And we learn from experience. I should say from mistakes. It happens to the best of us. So the first one was okay. Let's do this when we update the overlay. Now, we don't want Crazy Flippin' Dad anymore. Just crazy, I guess. Now, this is a knife. So let's see. Let's do let's do pork rolls. What the heck? I'm gonna put this over here and make it a little smaller. And what I'm gonna do, like I said, is I'm gonna do a framing this time, just to make sure everything looks good. And then we'll go from there. Let's see. Whoop. Would help if I turn that on. To Alt P, should just be pork rolls. Let's go for it. What the heck? Works, it works. I have other barbecue sets to do gifts as. We learn from experience. Okay, this one looks good. Okay. And I don't know if you notice, on top of my laser, I 3D printed, it's called a filter holder, and I'm using a furnace filter. I put over it, and that way it keeps some of the big debris out, especially when you're cutting wood, so it doesn't go all the way down to the laser. So I just did that, and time will tell to see how it works out, but I usually do maintenance on my laser every couple of weeks, so it'll be interesting. I'll show you guys next time what it looks like. So just hang on, and we'll be right back. Okay, we are done. Let me update the overlay, move this out of the way, and that worked out perfect. All right, let me take it out of here, see how it looks. Getting a real nice deep engraving. I don't know if you can see that. Pork rolls, feels real nice. Now we're gonna do a fork. So let me get this lined up. Let's see what we're gonna do with this. Let me update the overlay. Okay, so with this one, it's not a spoon, it's a raw thing. No, let me go to the layers. Let me turn off this guy. Maybe we do Baconator. How about that? We'll do just Baconator. We'll put it right here, right like that. Let's go. Yes, and we'll be right back. Hang on for the Baconator. We did pork rolls, now the bacon. Okay, this got done. I was putting another coat on the ornaments, the back side, so let's see how this came out. And this came out perfect. Baconator. Let's see if you can see that. Baconator. Who doesn't like bacon? Okay, that's perfect. And again, the engraving is, I don't know if you could see, it has a great texture to it. It's probably about a 0.5 millimeter down into it, giving a nice color. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's a walnut. I'm not sure. But we have one more to do. We're going to do the spoon. So let me put this up here. Update the overlay. Move this out of the way. I'm going to do a quick focus. What should we do for this one? It's a raw thing. You wouldn't understand. How about Spoon Me? The classic, right? Spoon Me. I'm not going to do this one as strong because it's a real soft wood, so I'm going to do this at 175. Let's see, the others I've been doing at 120. I'm going to do this 175, 30. Yeah, the 120 worked out really well on that hardwood. Okay, I think that's good. That's this guy. Show this. Again, make sure it's the right one. Hit Alt P. Nothing else is shown. Spoon Me. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, we'll be back in a second to see the finished product. Okay, this is done. Update the overlay, move this out of the way. There you go. This one came out pretty good. No issues. Just your basic Spoon Me. Okay, we're going to do one more. We're going to do the brush. Let me update the overlay. We got that in there. I'm going to have to do a focus for this one again, since this one is the thicker one. And you can see the filter material over there is getting dirty. Look at that. This is, I just put the filter material on today, actually, first time using it. So it is getting pretty dirty pretty quick. So again, that's to protect all that gook going in there, even though I clean it out. All right, less talking, more working. All right, okay, so what should we do here? It's the brush. Maybe I'll use the font from the Baconator and say clean me. How about that? We'll just put clean me, or let's see, Scrub Daddy. How about Scrub Daddy? Scrub Daddy, how about that? There we go. I think that looks pretty good there. Right about there. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, let's get going here. Let me just check the, let's see, 120. I think that's good. The others worked out well. And yes. All right, so hang on. We'll be right back. And then we have the diet belt for the holiday. I know everyone's looking forward for that one after eating and enjoying yourself, so just hang on. Okay, we're back. This is done. Let's see how this came out. Looks pretty good. Actually came out really nice. Let me leave the holder in here. Don't need to take that with us. And here you go. Let's see. Put the light down a little more. Maybe you can see that better. There you go. Scrub Daddy. So we did a Scrub Daddy. We did a Spoon Me. We did Fork Rules. And then, of course, we did Baconator. And, let me get it from back here, we did Crazy Flippin' Dad. So those came out really good. First time just going to put them on here. Next, we're going to do something. It's the diet belt. Or the holiday belt. You take a belt, leather belt. What I did is I rolled it up like this and then with a tie down just to hold it like this. We're going to put it in there. I'm going to focus, and then we're going to put some for each belt notch. You put on the inside a little saying, "You're doing great. Keep it up. You made your goal." Whatever it is. We're just going to do a couple just to show you and have some fun. So hold right on. Okay, got that in there. I'm just going to discard this guy. I'm going to update the overlay. And there it is. So you can see the belts in there. And we're going to just put maybe some text over here on an angle. And you could put imagery on here. Whatever you'd like. So over here we'll just say, great job. Okay. Boom, right here. Now let me shrink this a little bit. Turn it. Shrink it some more. Get it's a little space. Zoom in. Let's go over here to the cuts. I'm going to do that as a fill. Great job. And you could put whatever you want on here. Great job. Turn this a little bit. You could put images in here. You know, whatever you like. Maybe a heart. Let's see, why don't we do that? Put a little heart in here. Say you're giving that as a gift. Let me search for a heart. Let's see if I have one. I think I do. Let's see. Hearts. What's a nice little heart? Okay, we'll go back here. We'll just do maybe this one. Obviously, we're going to have to shrink that baby. Now what I'm going to do is trace it. Trace the image. Say okay. It's going to come out how do we want it. Put this over here. Put this over here. Now this we're going to put on a different layer, and I'll show you why. We're going to put that here. Let's make this a little smaller first. Put that right here. We'll put it, say, how about right here? Put that here. Put that there. Now this. Now let's do another text. We'll do one more, just to give you guys an idea. Great job. We'll say, you did it. And then we'll change the font. You did it. Okay. We're going to change that to a different layer. Whatever I like. Shrink it. Move like this. And we'll say the goal was right. Whoops, if I could stop double clicking. We'll say here, let's make this a fill. Okay, but let's change the font. So I want to change that font to something else. I know my book out here, which I was telling you using that program, you can just look real quick. I'm just going to use, let's see how the Rockwell did it. Looks. Yeah, it's good. Nice, clean job. Clean, you did it. Could make this a little bigger. And I haven't done any test burns for this, so it's going to be interesting. Let's look at the speed. 120, 120, 120. Let's try it. Let's try it. It's an old belt. Let's go for it. But first thing I have to do is focus, because this is a new material again. Different height. Let me change this so we bebop along a little quicker. Go back to camera so you can see what's going on. Okay. Okay, we're just going to focus on the leather belt. Hopefully we don't have the knob. Okay, I was afraid that the knob was going to go into one of the holes and it would throw off the focus. That would not be good. Change the light a little bit there. There we go. Okay. All right, so we have this all set. Let's see. I think that looks good. Let's see, Alt P again. I think that looks good. What the heck? It works, it works. We're having fun. That's the main thing. All right, let's try it. We'll see how it goes. Let's go. All right, we'll come around back when this is done, or we have a fire. Either way, so just hang on. I know folks are going to ask me, why do I always trace the images when I bring them as clip art? Depending on the clip art, like this heart, it's mainly lines. I like to bring in trace it so it becomes a line, a real SVG. It's cleaner than an image. If you take an image of something and then draw it in grayscale, whichever, this becomes crisper. Again, it depends on the imagery that you're using, but when I'm doing clip art like this, I always trace it. If I'm bringing, say, to do like the intarsia, I bring an image in there where I want to break it up into its sections. I will bring it in, trace it, and that allows me to go in and break up, all these different things into their own nodes. So I can actually, if I wanted to delete this section here, since it is now all lines and separate nodes, I just ungroup it and I can go in and delete all these. How I did it in the intarsia. So let me show you. So we do this, I ungroup, I go in here, and if you notice, did I ungroup it? Yes. Let's see, so I go in here and I click this one right here, and then I could delete it if I highlight it. So you could do that with all these. If you notice, like this guy right here, let's delete it. So you can customize your imagery like that. So I'm just highlighting this one, deleting. And you can see how you can change the look and feel. So if you have something that is, say, a little too crowded, per se, you want it more like this open look like I'm doing here, like right over here. And, thinking about it now, what I could have done is I could have deleted this out here and just put, if, say, I'm giving this as a gift saying, I love you, right over in this area. So again, just some food for thought, and it actually does look a lot better with taking out the space. So again, trace it, ungroup that section, and then start deleting. Let's see how it came out. It is done. So I'm going to open this up, and it came out great. Okay, here we go. My diet belt. So we have great job, my heart, and then you did it. So again, you could take something as simple as a belt you buy in a store. You could engrave on the inside with messages, or on the outside, you could take that heart, and I could have put hearts all along the outside, or cars, or whatever you like, or that person likes, Pokemon, anime, and you could take a plain leather belt and really kick it up a notch. So today, we did a lot of projects. We did, let me get these from back here, sorry for my back. We did these guys, the ornaments. Now they're ready, they're dry, they're ready to have the little bendles on, or lanyard, whatever you're going to put on that. We did that. We did a scrub daddy. We did a baconator. We did a pork rules. We did the crazy flippin' dad. And then, of course, spoon me. That's only for my wife. But anyway, I hope you guys had a lot of fun. You learned some different techniques today. We went over a whole plethora of different types of materials. Made a mistake at the beginning with the flippin' dad, but we learned from it. And that's the thing. You learn as well as I learned because I'm playing. And I'm doing it here so you don't have to, so you can just learn. Have a wonderful holiday season. Thumbs up, subscribe. I will be putting these on my Etsy store as free, so you can download that template, customize either for this year, next year, whichever. Anyway, thank you so much. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa. Thanks, everyone. Take care.